In this video, I'll be giving you my 2-year review of the Secretlab Titan Evo. Now, I got this chair right when it came out back in 2022, and it's still their most current model today, so I thought it'd make sense to come back to this chair and see how well it's held up over the past 2 years. Throughout this video, we'll be taking a look at factors such as design, materials and build quality, comfort, and overall value to help you decide if this chair is going to be a good fit for you. And make sure to stick around until the end because I'll be letting you know whether or not I would personally recommend this chair, as well as recommending a potential alternative. And just for full transparency, Secretlab did send me this chair for free 2 years ago. However, this video is not sponsored and no money was exchanged. I never made a video on it back then, and they have no idea that I'm making a video on it now, so you can be sure that this is my completely unbiased opinion of this chair after actually using it for an extended period of time. And as you'll see in the video, I won't be pulling any punches in this review just because it was sent to me for free. That said, I will have affiliate links down in the description if you're interested in checking this chair out. Please consider using these links as they cost you nothing but really help support the channel. So with that said, let's jump right into the review. To start, let's look at the overall design of the chair. Now, of course, this is going to be a typical racing style gaming chair, so you probably already know if that's the look you're going for or not. I personally don't really like the over-the-top gamer look of most racing-style gaming chairs, but I think Secretlab has done a good job of giving you options. Of course, one of the main selling points of the Secretlab chairs is their sheer number of designs that they've licensed from dozens of different IPs. Whether you want to rep your favorite esports team, video game, or even anime, Secretlab probably has an option for you. However, if you're like me and don't really care for these over-the-top designs, then Secretlab also has some upholstery options that are a bit more dialed back. The model I have is their Soft Weave Plus fabric upholstery, and I personally really like the way it looks. It's much more toned down compared to the bright, vibrant gamer colors. And in my opinion, it's a bit more versatile because it'll fit in a gaming setup as well as a traditional office setting. So if you're like me and your home office also doubles as your gaming setup, then it won't look too out of place. When it comes to materials and build quality, I need to give credit where credit is due. The Secretlab Titan Evo is actually really good, especially when you compare it to any other racing style gaming chair. In fact, for the price, I think the Titan Evo actually holds its own against most ergonomic office chairs in this price range as well. It uses a lot of metal components for the base, frame, and armrests, which makes it feel really premium. If you compare it to a lot of other ergonomic chairs on the market, they've transitioned to using mostly plastic builds. Also, when putting the chair together, all of the components felt like they were designed specifically for this chair and all fit together perfectly with minimal effort. And because of this, the chair feels pretty sturdy across the board. No noticeable creaking or wobbling, which you'll find on most office chairs in this price range. The upholstery feels pretty good in my opinion. Secretlab offers several different upholstery types, including their Neo Hybrid Leatherette, which is like a PU leather material, their Soft Weave fabric material, and their premium exotic options. Like I said earlier, I have their Soft Weave fabric material and I've been pretty happy with it. It's soft, breathable, and has held up really well even after 2 years of use. The stitching still looks like it's new and there really isn't any noticeable wear and tear just from normal rubbing up against the fabric. Overall, I'd say the materials and build quality are actually quite impressive on this chair. I've used a lot of gaming chairs over the years and most of them felt pretty cheap for the price you pay. However, with the Titan Evo, I can honestly say it feels like a $600 chair if we're strictly talking about the build quality. Now keep in mind that just because a chair is built well doesn't mean that it's going to be comfortable to sit in. There are a ton of different factors that you need to consider, like its ergonomic adjustments and overall design choices for each of the components. And in my opinion, this is where the Secretlab Titan Evo starts to fall short. So when it comes to comfort, I'll be breaking it down into 4 main categories: the seat comfort, the backrest, the headrest, and the armrests. Now let's start by talking about the seat. In my opinion, the seat comfort is probably the most important aspect when it comes to choosing a chair since it's going to be holding all of your body weight. And for me, this is one area where the Titan Evo falls short. My main issue with it is the firmness. It's just way too firm. They use a high density foam seat pad that they call their cold cure foam. And while the foam is probably pretty decent quality, it's just too firm for me to sit in comfortably for a prolonged period of time. After just a few hours of sitting in it, my butt pretty much goes numb and I need to get up. And that's coming from someone who typically prefers firm seats. All of the high-end ergonomic chairs that I'm used to, like the Steelcase Leap, the Herman Miller Embody, and the Haworth Fern, all use thin, firm seat pads. But the Titan Evo seat is pretty much rock hard, which makes it a complete deal breaker for me. Again, that's not a knock on the quality of the foam. I don't notice any bottoming out or anything, even after 2 years of use. It's more so just a design choice. I wish they would fix this and just make it a little bit softer, since this is one of the most common complaints I hear about this chair. And it's a shame because aside from that, I think the Titan Evo actually does a lot right compared to other racing style gaming chairs. For example, most gaming chair seats have pronounced side bolsters that restrict your movement and prohibit certain sitting positions. However, Secretlab was one of the first brands to take this feedback and fix their seat design by making their side bolsters soft foam padding instead of a rigid metal frame. Because of this, the seat feels pretty spacious, which I like because it allows you to sit cross-legged while you're lounging. But that leads me to my next issue with the seat, which is really just a problem that all racing style gaming chairs have, and that's the lack of a seat pan depth adjustment. Now, as a rule of thumb, when you're sitting in the chair, you want your legs to be at a 90-degree angle, and you want to be able to fit 2 to 3 fingers between the front of the seat and the inside of your knee. Now, most mid to high-end ergonomic chairs at this price point will have some sort of seat pan adjustment, allowing you to set the seat depth to fit your leg length. This allows a single office chair to accommodate most people comfortably. And since the Secretlab chair doesn't have any way to adjust the seat pan, you need to make sure that you get the right size chair depending on your height. So rather than having one size fits all, Secretlab offers 3 different size configurations that you can choose from. And this is pretty much a major issue I have with pretty much all gaming chairs. The lack of crucial adjustability options makes it nearly impossible to achieve a perfect fit for your body. Now, to wrap up my thoughts on the Titan Evo seat, I'd say that they're really close to having a good seat. They've done a lot right to fix the common issues that plagues the majority of gaming chairs out there. However, they still fall short in a couple of key areas, which unfortunately makes it practically unusable for long hours. At least for me, that is. Now, moving on to the backrest, I think this follows a similar trend to the seat. Secretlab has done a lot of good things to fix some of the common issues that most racing style gaming chairs have, but it still has some major flaws that hold it back from being a comfortable backrest. The biggest issue for me is the shape of the backrest. The Titan Evo suffers from the same problem that every racing style gaming chair does, which is the fact that the backrest is completely flat. If we look at any good ergonomic chair, you'll see that the backrest has an S-curve shape to match the natural shape of your spine. This is really important for providing proper support for your lumbar. Now, when you sit back on the Titan Evo, the completely flat backrest feels really stiff and doesn't provide any proper support. Now, I will say that the Secretlab chair's backrest is an improvement over most budget racing chairs that only give you a small lumbar pillow. The Titan Evo actually has a built-in adjustable lumbar support system with height and depth adjustment that you can access by turning the 2 knobs on the side. And I'd say it's definitely a step in the right direction, but it's just not enough to compensate for how bad the shape of the backrest is. Now, moving on, another issue I have with the backrest is these pronounced side bolsters. I find that they really restrict your movement as you're trying to shift around in the chair. Also, I find that they tend to push my shoulders forward, essentially forcing me into a slouching position, which obviously isn't the most ergonomic. Now, moving on to the recline, this could potentially be a selling point for you depending on how you intend to use your chair. It has a decent knee tilt mechanism that's pretty smooth for rocking. You can also lock yourself in a recline position, which is something that most higher-end ergonomic chairs don't allow you to do. And the main feature that sets a racing chair's recline apart from a normal office chair is the independent backrest recline. Now, when you recline the backrest as far as it'll go, combined with the tilt mechanism, you're basically parallel to the floor. Now, this could potentially be good if you plan to take naps in your chair, but I mean, at that point, why not just lay down on a couch or something? But I guess having the option doesn't hurt. I will say I do like reclining back in the chair while I'm lounging and watching shows, especially since you can lock yourself in a reclined position, so you don't need to engage any muscles while you're relaxing. Now, my only minor gripe is that the tilt tension knob that controls how much force is required to recline is located in a really awkward spot to reach. It's on the very bottom of the chair, which makes it basically impossible to adjust while sitting. This is annoying because you need to get out of the chair to dial it and then sit back in the chair to test if it's right. And if it's not, then you need to get up and do it all over again. Not the biggest deal, but why not just put it in a spot where it's easy to reach? Now, moving on to the headrest pillow, I think this is unironically one of the best features of the chair. It's made of a soft memory foam material that's actually very comfortable. Now, it snaps directly onto the chair magnetically, which at first seemed like a gimmick to me, but actually makes it really easy to position it wherever you want. Now, you're obviously not going to have true depth adjustment since it's just a pillow, but you can easily compensate for this by moving the backrest forward. Also, it's pretty wide and covers a large area, so no matter how you shift around in the chair, you'll feel supported. And the thing I really like about this headrest pillow is that you can use it in multiple ways. Some people like to have the pillow up against the back of their head, and others like to have it resting in the crook of their neck. And in my opinion, this headrest pillow is good for both use cases. It's also good whether you're using it in an upright tasking position or when you're in a recline position for lounging. So yeah, overall, I really like the headrest pillow and I really don't have any issues with it. Now, moving on to the armrests, I think the Titan Evo's armrests are actually very good. Definitely the best armrest I've used on any racing style gaming chair. It has 4D adjustable arms with height, depth, width, and pivot adjustments. Now, I like that all the individual adjustments are very smooth. Also, every adjustment actually locks into place, so you don't need to worry about bumping them out of position. My only issue with these armrests is that the adjustment ranges are not as large as I'd like. For example, I find that when the width adjustments are all the way in, the armrests are still a little too far apart for me. Also, the arms don't go low enough so that I can get them out of the way when I'm not using them. I find that I can't get close to my desk without bumping into them, and I definitely can't push them under my desk to save space. But when it comes to the arm pads themselves, I think they're actually really good. They're large and have a good amount of softness to them, so they're really comfortable no matter what position you're using them in. And those are just the default arm pads. The cool thing about the Titan Evo is that the arm caps are actually swappable. Now, Secretlab offers several different variations that you can buy separately. The ones that I have are memory foam with a velour top. They're super soft and comfortable, and it's really easy to swap them out since they attach with magnets. Now, I think this is a really cool and unique feature, so I'll definitely give props to Secretlab for that. They're definitely on the pricey side though. At $80, they're kind of hard to justify considering the standard arm pads are still really good. Now overall, I'd say the armrests on the Titan Evos are really good. Now they're not going to be as good as like a high-end ergonomic chair like the Steelcase Leap, but they do stack up well compared to pretty much any other office chair in this price range. Now let's talk about value. Now is the Secretlab Titan Evo a good value, and is it ultimately worth your money? And the thing is, the answer isn't so straightforward, so let's break it down. Now in the realm of gaming chairs, I definitely consider the Secretlab Titan Evo to be a high-end premium chair. It comes in at around $500 to $600 depending on your configuration and if there are any sales going on. Now this is significantly more expensive than most racing style gaming chairs, but I think it's justified because it's probably the highest quality racing chair on the market. You also get a 3-year warranty, which you can extend to 5 years if you share on social media. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of forcing people to share on social media to get the longer warranty, but it's still probably something you should do if you're going to be investing this much money into a chair. But despite all of that, a 3 to 5 year warranty is still better than what you'll get on most gaming chairs on the market, even from some of the bigger gaming brands. Now, so far so good, right? Compared to pretty much every other gaming chair, it would seem like the Titan Evo is a pretty good value. However, at this $500 to $600 price range, there's some really tough competition if we compare it to similarly priced non-gaming ergonomic chairs. For example, let's take a look at the Haworth Soji, which in my opinion is the best value you can get in an office chair. For a similar price, you can get a chair from a top 3 office chair manufacturer that comes fully assembled and backed by a 12-year warranty. And in my opinion, the Haworth Soji is just a lot more comfortable than the Titan Evo across the board, and it's not even really close. So at the end of the day, would I recommend buying the Secretlab Titan Evo? Honestly, it's a tough call. It's definitely the best racing style gaming chair that I've ever used. But when you compare it to a similarly priced office chair, it gets smoked in terms of comfort. So I'd say if you're dead set on getting a racing chair, either you really like the aesthetic or you're someone who tends to lounge a lot in your chair, then the Titan Evo isn't a bad option. It's built really well, has features like that independent backrest recline that you won't really find on a normal office chair. But if you're somebody who spends long hours in your chair and just want the most comfortable chair that you can get for your money, then I'd probably suggest going with a similarly priced office chair like the Haworth Soji instead. Now, if you guys found this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in checking out my full comparison between the Secretlab Titan Evo and the Haworth Soji, then you can find that along with many other comprehensive chair reviews by clicking here.